What is going on, guys? Jack here, and I am back with a brand new video. Today we are reviewing the English national team, and should we be worried? Is English football dying? Last night England did play in a England versus Slovakia World Cup qualifier in the group stages, and we left it till late, the last kick of the game, to get the winner. This guy here, Adam Lallana, did get the finish for us here, which was a very important goal. Many people are now thinking, is English football, something to be worried about? Is there a lot has changed? Obviously, you can't expect something to change just with a click of your fingers. It's pretty much a Roy Hodgson team that you're looking at there. Bar a couple of changes, maybe John Stones coming in, Henderson. Not really much changes, but again, you got to give the guy a chance. And Big Sam, he's got off to a winning start, which most England managers do actually achieve. So let's not get overexcited. Obviously, the result was a good one for us. You don't remember the games, you just remember the results. So that's a 1-0 victory for us. And to be fair, we dominated most of the game. But it's just one thing that worries me about England. Now, one, I don't think our defence is strong enough. We get hit on the counter. Most of these teams we do play do obviously park the bus and hit us on the counter. And we look weak on the counter. We look like we can concede a couple of goals, and it nearly happened yesterday. I think Slovakia could have had 2 goals, one right across the face of goal member in the first half that could have easily ended into the back of the net where the player should have scored. And Joe Hart, someone that's lacking confidence at the moment, you saw in the first half with his kick straight to the opposition that really put us in a bit of a trouble, but we did deal with it. Now, obviously we've got young players like John Stones coming through here, who I'm going to highlight now. Obviously did get his move from Everton to Manchester City this season. Actually he's looked quite good under Pep Guardiola. A lot to learn for him, but I definitely feel like he's the future of our centre-back contingent under Sam Allardyce. Now, Cahill, you could argue that this guy down here, Chris Smalling, definitely deserves a shout to be in that starting 11. These two, I don't know what Allardyce is going to do. Obviously, no one knows what he's going to do, which is the brilliant thing about him. He's got some great players to choose from. Harry Kane, a player that everyone at the end of last season would have probably stuck up there as their top striker, hasn't really had. He had a terrible Euros. That was down to Roy Hodgson, I do believe. Put him on set pieces. What on hell was the guy thinking? But Harry Kane, he seems to be suffering from a little bit of confidence issues at the moment. So hopefully we'll see him back to scoring goals. But why on earth didn't he start Jamie Vardy? I don't know. He seems like a player on maybe a little bit better form. But, Allardyce likes to big up men. But let's move on from that. So England, I think we need to work on our defence, to be fair. And it just seems like they're lacking something. And you look at teams like your Germans, your Italians, all the bigger sides. They play these kind of teams too. We see ourselves as a big nation. We see ourselves as a big footballing nation. Looking on paper, looking at this team, is that a team that you think is world beaters? Do you think this team could win the World Cup? In a nutshell, no, I don't think it is. I'd love to believe it, but I'm not too sure. Like I said, every fan would love to believe it, but I think deep down we all know that it's a losing battle, and England are not going to win a major tournament probably in my lifetime. And this boils down to a couple of factors which I will get into. But if you guys do enjoy this video and you want to see more videos about me talking about in depth about clubs and some of the issues and reviewing games, slap a like on this video and also subscribe if you are new around here. So, moving on. I think England are missing that it factor. They don't have a player that can take on players with confidence, because I think they're too scared of losing their shirt, which shouldn't be an issue, because we'll go to a stat in a minute, but there's not enough English players coming through. So take the game by a scruff of the neck and go for it. Now, Wayne Rooney, when he first come through, obviously he ain't got the legs anymore. He's nearly 31 years of age. Took on players for fun. He was an exciting player and everyone enjoyed watching him play. Raheem Sterling, when he first come through, was an exciting player. Now, one player that many people don't rate, and to be fair, neither did I, but Andros Townsend, when he come onto the pitch for England, he went for it. He wasn't scared to take on players. He wasn't scared to have a shot, and he scored some really good goals for England, some I can remember at Wembley. So, Andros Townsend is a player that plays with no fear. If we have someone that's up in quality of Andros Townsend, which I'm sure there is a lot of players like that, no disrespect to Townsend, that can definitely do that. Have the shooting ability, not scared to take on the shot, because England struggle to break teams down when they park the bus, and it proved it here last night. We haven't got that player that can, create something, get the shot away and hopefully get the goal. Rooney had an attempt of it and it was quite close. Even Adam Lallana, who for me was the star man, to be fair, who was star man of the Euros and the star man at the start of our World Cup qualifying. One of our most important players, I would actually say Adam Lallana is. That's an unpopular opinion, but I think that I honestly do. So, yeah, no one is really there to, be that game changer. And the frustrating thing is, if you take Rooney out of this team, who have you got as the born natural leader? Joe Hart, he might lose his place in the team due to likes of Jack Butland coming through and Fraser Forster. Cahill, I doubt it very much because he'll probably be swapping in and out with Smalling and Stones. So, where does that leave the captain? Harry Kane, he's been captain of Tottenham, but is he really a born leader? Henderson, I don't think he'll get more England games, to be fair. Let's talk about the bright sparks in the team, and I have to go to the substitutes bench to be fair. So the bright sparks that we have got, Jamie Vardy. I think he's a player that can change a game. I think his raw pace, his raw talent is definitely something England need, and I really do like him. So Jamie Vardy is definitely a game changer. Another game changer, and last night when he come on was absolutely incredible, was Dele Alli. Now, again, many people think he's been struggling at Tottenham this season, but he's come on and, just his little bit of tricks and skills really did help England get into the great advancing positions, and he really did play well. I did enjoy watching Dele Alli play, and I think he will probably get himself into the first team over Jordan Henderson in the next game. Another player that played really well, usually the scapegoat for England, is Wayne Rooney. Now, he was up for debate whether he'd lose his captaincy, but he's kept it, and I'm glad he has, I really do, because he is the leader. Who else on that CV would you make England captain, realistically? Let's be honest here. So Wayne Rooney definitely deserves to be the England captain, and he played really well last night. Dictated play in midfield, dropped down deep, and I think his best position now is midfield. Despite Allardyce saying he won't play in midfield, Wayne Rooney is a better midfielder than he would be attacker, and that's just the way it is now. And obviously, he hasn't got the pace to get in behind the back lines, but as for ability, he has that. He can pass the ball around, and to be fair, he's probably still got the shot on him too. So Wayne Rooney definitely deserves to be in the England team. And I don't think that's a doubt in anyone's mind. Players that I would like to see get a chance, actually, yesterday. I would have seen Drinkwater. I'd like to see him come on maybe, but he's kind of the same player as Eric Dyer. He breaks up play really nicely. He's really good centre midfielder. Also, not just me being a West Ham fan, I'd really like to see Antonio maybe over Theo Walcott. Again, a player that can give you another heading option. Obviously, he's got the most headed goals in the Premier League from the last 2 seasons, should I say. So, Mikel Antonio adds that little bit of extra, difference into the game. He gets into the box, he'll head the ball down, he'll head at goal. He's a different kind of player, and I think that would suit Allardyce's, style of play more. So England started whipping a lot more balls in as the game got to the desperation stages, and I think Antonio would have been perfect in them positions. Yes, Theo Walcott did get the ball into the back of net, but it was offside. I just don't like Theo Walcott. I think he's a player that's failed to reach his potential, and I don't know. It's a tricky one. Daniel Sturridge, I think, needs to move away from Liverpool. I still think he's a quality striker. I think it's still there for him. He just needs to go to another club. I think he's not going to get in under Klopp's regime. Some other players coming through, but look, it's still the same kind of side that was fielded in the Euros, and that poses the question for me. Every single year in the Barclays Premier League, there's been less and less percentage of English players registered into the squads or into the starting 11s. That's worrying. It is very worrying. So, I can name maybe a select couple of players that could probably get into the England squad or, would be up for contention that are not in the squad now. So, obviously, you've got the Butlands and Forster. That's great. That would probably take us on for a couple of years. Centre-back wise, Curtis Davis maybe. There was talk of John Terry, but not really. So Curtis Davis is the only player I can actually think of as a centre-back. Maybe Scott Dan. Other than that, are they the quality players that you want to play for England though? I'm not too sure. At right back, I think we're fine with Walker and Klein. Left back, we've got Danny Rose. You've got likes of Leighton Baines, Aaron Cresswell, Ryan Bertrand, Kieran Gibbs. So left back, we're pretty gifted. Centre midfield, you got your Mark Nobles. Who else is there realistically? James Milner, he's retired from international football. Is there ever any other centre midfielders that deserve to be in that England team? I'm probably missing the absolute Jack Wilshere, potentially, but he's playing in that Bournemouth side at the moment, trying to get back from his injury. So Maybe not Jack Wilshere, you never know. Fabian Delph. Again, people would write at that one. Adam Lallana can play in the centre of midfield too, but I think he's better out on the wing, to be fair. And as for wingers, we've got your Antonios, you've got your Sterlings, you've got your Oxlade-Chamberlains, you've got your Townsends, And up front, you've got Kane, you've got Sturridge, you've got Vardy, you've got... Who else is there, really? Andy Carroll, maybe? It just shows that there's a lack of options, When you talk about, the German sides, look at the Bundesliga, look at the amount of young German talent that's coming through. It just poses the question that, are England really a country that's going forward, or are we going backward and we have to start picking from the Championship? Now, I know this was discussed in the post-match on ITV, but it's very true. Will England have to go back and pick from the Championship to get English players in, the not so distant future? It's worrying, it really is. And you've got to look at some of the players going abroad. Eric Dyer played for Sporting Lisbon and abroad. He come in, he's done fantastically. Joe Hart's going to play in Italy this season. Hopefully he has a really good season. And I think English players should be content of going abroad and trying to make a name for themselves. I really do. I think it's the future of English football. You need to hopefully come through the ranks, and hopefully, don't be scared to try and break it in another league. You will probably be considered for England in the not so distant future. So, guys, that is going to bring an end to today's video. Are England doomed? Let me know in the comment section down below. Obviously, getting off to winning ways is brilliant, but can we continue that under Big Sam? I like to say yes, but we need more options. We need more players. Do you think England need a winter break too? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, thank you for joining me in this video. I'm going to leave a poll down below also and put... What do you think England's best striker is? Is it Harry Kane, Jamie Vardy, Daniel Sturridge, or maybe even the likes of Andy Carroll? Let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you're voting that poll, and I'll catch you all in the next one, guys. Peace!